Welcome back, Flare community. I hope you're all well and having an incredible day as always. And yes, in today's video, we're going to be covering the weekly news update, covering all of the significant news that's been happening on both the Songbird and the Flare network. Let's jump straight in here. This is just a gentle reminder that with your XRP, you can now put it to use and do more with it through the FAsset protocol, where you mint FXRP and put it to use with the DeFi on the Flare network. This is one of the biggest use cases where the Flare network is essentially connecting other networks, and as we'll see very soon through smart accounts, you may not even need to know that you're participating with the Flare network, and that's very powerful. So we're going to have a quick look here at the FAsset overview. This is one of my favorite dashboards here from Dune, and you can see that the total supply of FAsset, which is obviously just FXRP at the minute, is 61.3 million FXRP, which is an absolute crazy number. And if we look here, you can see that this represents only 0.06% of the total supply. So what does that mean? It means that there's still a lot of XRP that could potentially come to the Flare network and help boost these numbers of TVL, total value locked, which is already sitting pretty somewhere around $156 million worth of assets. Crazy stuff. If you do like these dashboards from Dune, well, I've got some good news for you, because they've actually just created another one specifically for FXRP. And if you want to look at it, it's dune.com/flare/FXRP DeFi. Now, this is talking specifically about the FXRP that has been put to use. So as you can see here, somewhere close to 70% of the FXRP that has been minted is already being used in DeFi applications, whether that's BlazeSwap, whether that's Kinetic, Enosys, SparkDex, whatever it may be. This is a huge percentage, and I think once Firelight goes live, we're going to see this get closer to 100%. Of course, it's very unlikely that 100% will all be utilized, but it's definitely going to be trending that way. There's a lot of people who are still waiting on the sidelines with their FXRP, waiting for the launch of Firelight, which I will speculate on in this video. So moving on here, yep, we've got this from the Flare team. This is a new partnership with Revolut. This is actually a partnership that was in the works many months ago, and I did actually release a video covering this, which has slightly changed. I created the video and then I had it shelved for a while because it was a premature announcement, and they've just put out the announcement here, and basically it's unlocking 60 million users, or exposing 60 million plus users across 36 countries to the Flare network. And they're basically offering a service where you can basically just learn about the Flare network, and you can also purchase FLR directly through the Revolut app. So like I said, anything that is to do with exposure is only good in my eyes. Let's have a quick peek at this. Flare is excited to announce its participation in Revolut's Flare Learn program, opening the door for millions of new users to discover the Flare network. Revolut makes it easy for newcomers to learn about Flare and blockchain fundamentals, and start exploring the ecosystem through a hands-on approach. So yeah, it's basically an activity sort of scenario where you can go through in partnership with Luminite here, which is one of the wallets, where you can learn how to delegate, mint FXRP, swap and bridge assets, and participate in liquid staking. So again, this is a great step in the right direction. We've got this here from More Markets. The XRP Flare account has surpassed 5 million in a TVL, total value locked, over the past couple of weeks. The XRP Flare account is a fully on-chain vault that lets you earn from diversified Flare opportunities as a one-step door to on-chain XRP-Fi. And this is just getting started. And they did put out a post recently. If I can find it here quickly, we will go over it, talking about what they plan to do with this FLR. So here we go. They're talking about distributing WFLR, and they're getting this from participating in a number of different XRP yield opportunities. So we can look at things down here, such as they may be using that XRP to lend out in Kinetic. They may be using it in SparkDex and Enosys as liquidity, the earning RFLR, and also the upcoming Firelight launch. All self-custodial, transparent, and on-chain. So again, this is a very high-level and abstract way for XRP users or XRP holders to put their XRP to use. And they may not necessarily know that it is interacting with the Flare network, but that's how they're generating a yield. And this, as I said before, is doing wonders for the total value locked on the Flare network. Okay, moving on here, this is really big news from Enosys because the APY cloud has been one of the most anticipated applications to launch on the Flare network. And basically, this is a fee aggregator that pays a sustainable, predictable, and diversified passive income. What happens is Enosys, they have a range of different products, from providing liquidity, from bridging, from the NFT marketplace, the gallery, and many other things. And obviously we have the loans protocol, which is launching in the near future too. And each of these protocols, they get a little fee. Now, of course, some of that goes to Enosys themselves, but there is a portion from every single protocol that goes into the APY cloud. And this is basically a wallet that accepts fees, aggregates the fees, and then emits them to the holders of both APS and Helion, which is the governance tokens on the Flare network for Enosys. Assets include what you get. You get FLR, you get staked FLR, you get Helion, Apsis, FXRP stablecoins, whether that's USDT, USDC, and many more, including bridged Ethereum and Quants, if I'm not mistaken. This means that you're actually receiving a diversified passive income, and it's based on the success of Enosys. So if you are a believer in the Enosys ecosystem, then holding these assets could really pay dividends literally in the future if they are to really gather steam or generate a bit of momentum and take away market share from their competitors. Now, in terms of the decentralized exchange and the liquidity spread, their concentrated liquidity is probably the best. I'm pretty sure it is actually the best in terms of slippage compared to any other decentralized exchange, because they incentivize concentrating your liquidity. That's how you get the RFLR rewards. Okay, moving on. This is from Centaura. Kinetic, a lending protocol on the Flare network, added over 90% to its TVL total value locked in the last month, making it amongst the fastest growing decentralized finance protocols with more than 50 million in total value locked. The main driver for this growth is FXRP, a wrapped version of XRP designed to bring XRP into DeFi on the Flare network. And this is quite obviously catalyzed by the new bridging of FXRP onto the Flare network, where you can actually put it to use by lending it out in the Kinetic protocol. Now, I imagine that Kinetic will also do the same with STXRP, which is staked XRP, which will become available through Firelight, built by Centaura. So speaking of Firelight here, DeFi has grown fast, but one key primitive has been missing: reliable, scalable, on-chain cover or insurance. By staking high-value assets, blue-chip DeFi protocols can embed transparent coverage directly into their project. So this is extremely exciting, and this is what the vaults on Firelight will likely focus around. Providing some sort of insurance for smart contract risks, economic risks, oracle risks, which is obviously not an issue on the Flare network, and also bridging risks. What does this mean for you? Obviously, Firelight will have various vaults with different risk factors, and you've got to assess the risk and go with the vault that is best suited to your risk tolerance. It may be, for example, ensuring something like the Uniswap protocol or V3 decentralized exchange on various networks. You put in your XRP as an insurance policy, you get paid a yield for essentially allowing people to claim if there was a huge hack from any of these potential risks here, but it's all relatively low risk because, as we know, Uniswap has never been hacked or exploited, so it's very low risk in that sense. And of course, the APYs would be sort of correlated to the risk associated. When is Firelight going to launch? Well, it's actually going to be launching, phase 1 that is, this month. You can see here that this is the official launch timeline. There was an interview previously, or I think it was an X space with Jesus, who said that they are launching and confirmed that they are launching in November. This is very exciting stuff, and we're already halfway through November, which means within the next 2 weeks, we will see and be able to participate in the Firelight protocol. And I can't wait to share all of the tutorials and strategies with you. Tutorials, of course, will be here on the YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe. And if you want to get an insight into the strategies that I'm going to be using, check the link before the Patreon group below and join the MasterMind group. When is it going to launch? Well, I'm going to sprinkle in a little bit of speculation here. The Firelight audit competition is now live on Immunify, and you may recognize Immunify from auditing or facilitating an audit competition for the FAsset system too. This actually ends on the 17th, and I've been speculating this for a while, that I imagine, 17th, that's going to be the Monday, if I'm not mistaken. So I think we could see a launch next week with Firelight once this is concluded, and assuming that there are no major vulnerabilities found, which we would hope that there is not, because it already has been individually audited by some very prestigious auditors. So we're just going to have to sit tight here. But yeah, stay tuned because I think it's coming soon. Everyone's favorite word, soon. Onto NFTs. Yes, Bullnamics is the final collection in season 1 of Digital Dynamics. This collection has some very unique benefits, which I can't really share all of them right now, but this is a homegrown NFT collection from Digital Dynamics, which is obviously my project. And in addition to the usual benefits that you can expect, which is, Dynamics airdrop distributions and royalty share, there's going to be some very interesting utility behind this, which is coming from an income stream from my next dApp that I will be launching under the Digital Dynamics umbrella. I can't really talk about that too much right now, but you will be hearing about that a lot more before the year ends. If you are a holder of every Digital Dynamics NFT, you can see them all here. The Smuggler Chimps, the Yoru, the Freaks, the Spider Mutants, and the Pizzas, you will be able to claim one of these Bullnamics NFT base layers absolutely free. The snapshot, which I did promote quite heavily, was last or at the start of this month, early November. If you was holding all of these NFTs, you're going to be able to claim a Bullnamics NFT absolutely free. Now, I talk about another dApp that is coming, and I just want to give you a gentle reminder that Digital Dynamics is more than just an NFT domination on the Flare network. Yes, we have numerous collections which are not actually owned by Digital Dynamics, but we're actually facilitating the launch through the Digital Dynamics platform, and we collaborate with artists. It's their collection. We help launch with immediate utility. And as beautiful as they are, they act as a distribution mechanism for the Dynamics token. Now, this means that Digital Dynamics is much bigger than just the NFT platform. I've got a lot of ideas, and again, I'm working on this next level app that you will be hearing about in the very near future. So stay tuned to that. And if you want to follow Digital Dynamics, you can find them on X @_Digital Dynamics with an X. Okay, this is just a bit of a friendly reminder before we wrap things up. Keep your secret phrase a secret. Keep your private key private. No matter what you call the thing you use to access your account, your wallet, do not share it with anyone. If you share the way that you access your account with someone, then they have access to your account. Again, the clue is in the name: secret phrase, private key. You know, there's a lot of attacks recently, and we're going to see this unfortunately trend higher as Flare grows in popularity. But even if someone seems legitimate, let me tell you this: Hugo is not going to take time out of his very busy schedule to send you a personal DM to resolve an issue that you may have with a decentralized exchange. You know, this is just not going to happen. And, you know, Jon Snow here put out a great example. There was this malicious site which was imitating Blaze Swap, and there's an error that pops up, and it says some error happened during the connection process. You need to verify your wallet manually. And you'd click this verify, and it would say, all you need to do is input your 12-word secret phrase or your private key, and we can get you connected, and hey presto. Now, even though this site looks like Blaze Swap, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is Blaze Swap. If you want to go and get the official links, I'd go through the FAsset dashboard, the minting portal, and use the links at the bottom of that screen. If you ever see this message or anything remotely similar, the only correct answer to anything that follows is no. Do not enter your secret phrase. Do not enter your private key. Anyone that asks you for this information, regardless of who they may seem like, whether it's Hugo, whether it's me, whether it's an admin of, you know, various decentralized applications, if they message you on X, if they message you on Discord, do not share your private key. That is the nuts and bolts of it. Never share it, because that is access to your account. And if someone has access to your account, they can transfer funds from that account. Right, that is pretty much the video for this week. I would like to thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and check the link below if you want to join the Patreon group. Lots of exciting exclusive videos coming in the very near future. Do have yourself an incredible weekend. And until next time, I'm out.